Hey everybody, sorry I'm just a few minutes late. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I'm Verna from Stampin' Notes and welcome to Monday Simply Stampin' in the Meadow. Hey, I have three different cards I want to share with you tonight that are made with Perched in the Tree. I'm always afraid I'm going to say that wrong. Stamp set and the beautiful Aspen Tree Dies. And the Aspen Tree Dies are one of the new products that are free during Salabration, and that goes until the end of August. And they added several new ones, and when I point the video camera down, I will show you those. So, also, couple announcements. If you're interested in Sweet Notes Card Club, that registration ends in a few days, and we are going to make 4 beautiful cards. Actually, you get a product to make 2 of each, so it's 8 total, featuring the autumn Hello Harvest, sorry, I gotta grab it, stamp set, and that's this one right here. And the beautiful dies that go with that. There's some pumpkins, and everything will be already die cut and embossed for you. And you just have to put your cards together yourself. And I'm gonna point the phone down, use my phone video. I'm gonna show you some of those cards. So let's face down. If you're on, let me know that you're there and say hi and tell me where you're from. If you share tonight, you will be put into a drawing for something special. And last week's winner was Chris Wilcott. And let me grab, Chris won a pack of our opal rounds. And thank you, Chris, for commenting and sharing. And so there, Margaret, nice to have you aboard here. So if you comment and share, you will be put into a drawing to receive a little package of those really pretty gems. Okay, I'm going to point our camera down and I want to show you some of these cards that we're going to make. This is with the August 2022 Sweet Notes Card Club featuring the Hello Harvest bundle. Hello from Vermont. Oh, so nice to have you here. It is really hot here today, too. In fact, we had a heat advisory, which for Western New York we don't usually get. Okay, so hi, Anne. Nice to have you here. So nice to have you gals here. This is one of the cards in Sweet Notes Card Club. I'm going to show them to you really quick, and then we're going to move on to tonight. This is a fun fold, and I haven't stamped anything on this because I'm not sure what I want to use it for. And this is another one right here. I love this. It's got those little gems in there. And this is my favorite DSP in that set. So in this card club, you would get a half a pack of designer series paper. You would get all the ingredients to make 8 of these cards, to each of these 4 different cards. You will get the leaf and amber dots little collection. Let me grab this so you can see it. And also a spool of ribbon, and you get about $24 worth of product. You get priority shipping, a free PDF tutorial, and an online video tutorial. And it's $42. If you're interested, you can email me at vernastamps@gmail.com, and I will send you I'll find out your information and you can pay me through PayPal or Venmo, whichever works for you. So that's mailed out around the 21st. And that is going to be a beautiful kit this month. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Salabration. And these are some of the new products and that are Stampin' Up! Added that you can purchase or you can get free with a purchase. There's a Timber 3D embossing folder, the Flowers of Home dies, the silver foil pack, the gingham embossing folder, the dots and spots dies, and the daffodil dies, the seashells 3D embossing folder, craft boxes, the Aspen Tree Dies, and that's what I'm going to show you some projects with that tonight. The brush metallic cardstock. These are all free, the yellow dots with a $50 order, and these are free with a $100 order. The only one of these I have is the Aspen Tree Dies. Well, actually, I have those two. So these two I don't have. So anyways, more to celebrate, and that goes until August 31st. So tonight, I am going to share cards made with those beautiful Aspen dies. And the first one we're going to do is this card right here with a slightly different version, different colors, I should say. And I wanted to show you different ways you can use those dies. You don't always have to use the whole die. And let me show them to you. Oh, and where did I put it? Here it is. I'll show you in the catalog. It's on page 49. Right here. So, and if you hear strange breathing, little feet running in the room, it's my grand dog Bo. He's a little, it's a little French bulldog, and I'm babysitting him. So he makes weird noises. All right, so this is the stamp set here, and then the dies are right here, and it has this beautiful large die to die cut trees. And I left it over at my die cutting station, and I just want to show them to you. So this is that large die, and it really is beautiful. It cuts a beautiful forest scene or woodland scene. Sorry, I had it out of camera. And there's these gorgeous aspen leaves here with all the detail on them. This is for the bird, and this is for the branch. And then this is a little stamp set. So let's start with this card right here. And I'm going to use a piece of Blushing Bride that's 5.5 by 8.5. It's scored at 4 1/4. I have a free PDF tutorial for these cards. And then if you place an order with me this week before Friday at midnight using this host code right here, I will send you the kits to make all 3 of these cards as a thank you. It has to be an order of $35 or more. And the host code is TUYF6GF7. Okay? So we've got that. We're going to take a piece of Texture Chic Designer Series paper, or chic. I'm not sure which way you say that. Now, I used it because I like the gold in it. It's going to pull in with our gold foil leaves. This is the gold Distress Designer Series paper, and I have heat embossed the bird with gold. So I don't have any more of this sheet left, so we're going to change up the color a little bit. And I'll bring that in right here. Maybe if I can get it out of my little dish here. Okay, so it's this piece right here. And we're gonna, this has like a Bermuda Bay or a Coastal Cabana or a pool party. Must be, it's not Bermuda Bay because it's too dark. So probably the pool party. And I'm just gonna use my ink and add this layer on to my card base. You can either buy the set, the stamp set and the dies together and save 10%, or you can, as a bundle, or if you already have the stamp set, you can get the dies free with a purchase. Or even if you don't have the stamp set and you want the dies, you can get it free with a purchase of $100. Okay, so this is the die cut, and I'm going to show you to you with my embossing machine on another card, but I'm just going to want to use just this section of this die cut. Okay, so I'm going to come in. I cannot find my snips. I do not know what I did with them, so I feel like I'm using big clunker scissors here. I'm going to cut that off and save that piece for something else. And I'm just going to go right around, carefully around this edge. Just like this. All the way around. Okay. And I'm going to snip this off like that. And I'm going to snip this piece here too. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put it over to the left side of my card. I keep forgetting to bring a rubber band down here to my studio for my glue bottle to hold the top back. And I'm just putting little dots on this. And this is our Tombow glue. I like this glue bottle because it's has a precision point on it, and the glue comes out in a smaller dose. Okay, so that's on there like that. And I have already gone ahead and die cut these leaves for you to, I wanted to show you they are so beautiful in the gold. And just, I don't know if you can see the embossing on them, but they're really beautiful. So I've got two of those. And this is the smaller leaf in the set. There's a large leaf and then there's a smaller leaf. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And I've got a piece of cardstock. I believe it's 1 1/8 inches wide. And I'm bringing in my soft suede ink. Oh, thank you. And we're going to stamp the sentiment on. Okay, let's see if I can, I'm going to have to stand up so I can see better. No matter the season, I am here for you. All right, and close that up before I get in trouble with that. And I am just going to snip this off like that. And I'm grabbing the lasting label punch because I want to round this end of the sentiment. I'm going to stick it through there like that. And line it up. Can you hear Bo snoring? He's sleeping under the table here. And he is snoring away. Okay, and I'm just going to clip these little things off here like this. Our next Stampin' in the Valley event will be August 25th at the Canisteo American Legion. And that is always a lot of fun. Or it was a lot of fun last month. Okay, so I have a piece that's about 1 1/4 of our gold and silver paper, and this is one of the free items in the little celebration catalog. It's still available. Let me find it and show it to you. Okay, this is sold out and not available. Here it is right here. Silver and gold 6x6 paper. This is free with a $50 order. And so I am going to glue this. No, I want to run it through my punch first. I'm just holding the cardstock in place. All right, let's get this fed through here first. To see about where I want to punch this. Okay, I'm going to punch that right about there. I'm just going to round this off, like that. I don't like that. Doesn't look right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my glue. I'm just going to round this a little more. It's better. And glue this onto there. Okay, and I'm going to bring my card back in and pop this on with some dimensionals. Which evidently I've got to grab here. So we have, as you know, along the Northeast coast, we've been experiencing a lot of hot weather the last few days. And it's kind of dry here, so we did have a little rain today. Oh, we really could use some more rain. We just cut some straw. There was an area farmer that went in and harvested their oats, and my husband went and I think got 4 wagon loads of straw for bedding. Oh my goodness. I know you guys can probably hear that now. That's a little Bo. He's taking a snooze under the table. Okay, so we're going to pop this on here. First, I'm going to lay one of the leaves here. Let's see. Let's move this up a little bit. Let's put it about like that. And I'm going to put a little glue under here. Like that. And then I have a bird that I've already heat embossed. I just stamped the paper in with Versamark ink. And then I took the heat gun and melted the powder from the Versamark ink. We're going to cut his little feet off there. And then he becomes this beautiful gilded bird. I think I'll put that like that. And also, I'm going to pop him on with dimensionals. Does anybody else have this stamp set that's on tonight? And how have you used it? This is a really nice set too because you can use it for Christmas. You can use it for anything really. Birthday, Christmas, thank you, fall, winter. We'll put him there. And you know what? I forgot to cut another leaf. So I'm going to bring my machine in and cut one. All right, here is the beautiful gold distressed designer series paper. And I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we need a third leaf there. I'm gonna lay this on here. Excuse my grungy plate. And I need my dies. A little leaf die. And run that through there. Sorry about the shaking. Okay. So I want to put this leaf right on the edge of this right here. I'm just going to put it on that edge. Maybe I want it more like that, I think. And then I have a piece, I couldn't decide if I wanted to use pink or I had that pool party seam binding ribbon. Let's go for the pink. And this is that really wide or 3/8 inch pink polyester ribbon, and I just cut it down. It's a little bit raggy on some of the edges. I don't know, you can probably see it, but thank you, Anne. I know that those gold leaves are so pretty. Okay, and I'm just gonna cut that off there like that. I'm gonna grab a glue dot. And we'll put that on there. I think we'll put it right there. Okay, so it says, no matter the season, I am here for you. And then we need a few gems. So let's add some of the champagne rhinestones. And I know I brought them over. Oh, here they are, right in front of me. Let's just add one. One right there, okay? So that's that one. They're both about the same, different colors. Okay, we'll set those aside. And we're going to go to another card that shows a different way to use the dies. And this card is a fun fold card. And I've used Pretty Prince Designer Series paper on this one. I didn't have, I wanted to try a different color scheme. So I'm going to use blues this time, but it opens like this. Okay, and again, all of the measurements will be in the PDF, and I'll put a link to my blog in the comments below this post, and that you can get the free PDF there, and you can also order supplies there if you'd like to place an order. All right, so I have a piece of Night of Navy. It is 4¼ by 11. It's scored at 5½. Okay, and we're going to cut one end off at 2 3/4, and I'm bringing in my thank you, Margaret. Bringing in my paper trimmer, and the dark blade is the cutting blade, and this is a scoring blade. So I'm cutting that end right off. Okay, and I'm going to use navy and white for this part. I'm going to have a piece that's 5¼ by 4 for the inside sentiment. We can go ahead and add, although I probably should have stamped it first. Well, just in case there's a mistake. Well, we'll live dangerously and put it in. All right. There's that. Okay, I'm going to look at the PDF here so I can just make sure on the measurements. Okay, so I'm going to use another piece of, I'm going to bring in all my little pieces here. I have a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is the one with all the navy prints in it. That is a dog scraping in the chair. Sun prints, okay? And we're going to layer this piece onto a piece of basic white. And again, the measurements will be in the PDF. Okay, this is the piece, it has a little bit of Pacific Point blue in it with the navy and with the white. I'm going to take a piece of twine, actually 2 pieces. Excuse me, it's a linen thread. And I'm going to double it and go around this piece like this and tie a bow. I like to double the baker's twine or the linen thread. We'll pull that down. We'll snip off our long ends. This end is longer than the other one. Okay, and we're going to layer this onto here just like this. We're layering it onto that flap. Okay. This I should have pulled over a little more, but a lot of it's going to be hidden, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right. So I have 3 pieces here. I have a Night of Navy piece of cardstock, and I have a piece of the Designer Series paper that's the same exact measurement as that cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the cardstock piece. Just like this. And this is going to become our background, looking through the woods. So I'm going to take this piece, which is a little bit smaller than both of those, and I'm going to die cut our woods from it that I want to use, like I did on this card. And so you don't have to use the whole huge die. You can just use whatever part you want. And so I'm grabbing my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, bringing that in. I'm grabbing the die. Here's the bottom plate. I'm going to lay the cardstock on there. I'm going to lay the part of the scenery of the trees that I want on that, about like that. Let's see. So this is where the branches are, and I want a little bit of those branches. I'm going to lay this. I'm going to grab a Post-it to hold that. Post-it notes are a great tool when you're die cutting, because it will hold that in position, so you don't have to worry about it shimmying around and moving when you're trying to cut it. And let's run it through. And again, I'm sorry about the shaking. I'm going to run it back through. Okay. There's all our parts. And you'll find that there's 2 basic parts. There's this one and that one. Okay. I'll move this out of the way. I'm just getting the paper off there. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back in. And let's just place this over it. It's going to look like this. And like that. Okay, and I lost one of my pieces. It's supposed to be in there. This piece right here. All right, so it'll be like that. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. And you could use the adhesive sheets to do this. This isn't too bad to glue because the branches are kind of wide. And there should be enough room for a little bit of an edge all the way around. We've got a little edge here. And I'm gonna put this other outside one on first before I do that single tree branch. Just so there's a little bit of an edge all the way around. Okay, and this is going to go right here. And I'm not going to put it straight because you know how trees in the forest are. They're not very straight. All right, so let's bring our card base back in. And this is going to layer right, we're going to center it right on this. So when you go to adhere this down, you only want to put it on the back of this part of the card because this isn't going to have anything stuck to it. At least you don't want anything stuck to it. So we're just going to put adhesive here. I'm going to move my bow tails a little bit. And you want it even about here to and here. This area and this area. Okay, we'll just hold that a minute. Okay, and this should come up a little bit. Well, I'm not going to monkey with it because it's pretty dry. All right, so I've die cut the branch using this. This is the branch die from that set. And it is here somewhere. Where are you, Mr.? There it is. All right, so I've got some crumb cake ink. And I'm just gonna brush that branch with a sponge dauber. I grabbed the wrong ink. Here we go. And I have a little sponge dauber here. And I'm just gonna carefully go along the edges of this. Just a little bit. We want to put a little bit of color on it so it shows up against the other branches that are in the background. Okay, and I'm not going to add a lot, just a little bit like that. So we've got our branch ready. Now let's do the bird. And I'm stamping the bird on a piece of crumb cake and Memento black ink because I'm going to be coloring it with Stampin' Blends. And the black ink, the Memento black ink holds the alcohol ink from the blends and keeps it from running. And here's our little bird. We're just going to stamp him right on here like this. And I'm going to cover this up before I get into it. All right, so I've got, this is a crumb cake, the light crumb cake. I'm just going to come in and brush some on the bird here. I'm going to pull it down just a little bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and go all over these wings. I'm just lightly brushing. You want to be careful with your tips, especially the brush tip on the blends. You're not pushing down on it because you'll ruin the tip of it. So there's a brush tip and a bullet tip. on these. All right, so now I'm going to take my dark crumb cake and I'm just going to color in dark, a little darker here. Right there, up in there a little bit. I'm going to bring in light balmy blue, and I'm going to color this around his eye. It really doesn't look, it's really a grayish blue. And I'm going to bring in the dark one. And I'm just going to go right around where these artist marks are. And a little bit under his neck here. And go up around like this. All right, so there's our bird. I'm going to run him through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'll grab the die here. I'll add a post-it. And plate. Okay. I forgot, I've already got one done. So anyways, you could see how I colored that in. And there's one right here that we're going to use. We're going to bring the card back in. And I'm just going to put the branch on here like this. And adhere it down with some Tombow. We'll get it going about like that. And then I'm going to take some dimensionals and pop the bird on there. I like to use all of my dimensionals. All the edges. And they will just tear right off there. So again, don't forget to comment and share, and you'll be in a drawing for next week. Okay, we will pop him on just like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, and this, I probably will take this apart and pull that up. It needs to be pulled up. Now, when you go to stamp your sentiment, you want to make sure it's right in here and it's not hanging out the edges here. So there's that card, and you can put some bling on that. Since I want to move this, I'm not gonna add any bling, but I did add bling to the side on this one. Okay, so there's two different colors in that one. And then the last one is a fun fold. Thank you. Thanks, Teresa. Welcome, Teresa. All right, so on this one, let me grab my measurements and make sure I have it right. We're going to start with, and it's a wide fun fold. So I'll show you how to make the envelope for it. 5 3/4 by 11.5 inch cardstock base. So you're going to need the 12 by 12 cardstock for this card to make it, because it's 11.5 inches by 5 3/4. Okay, we're going to score this. We're going to score it at 2, 2 1/4. And when you're scoring, you want to make sure it's lined up all the way down. 2 1/2. And then 6 1/2. So 6 is way out here. Move this stuff. And I'm pulling the arm out. And 6 1/2 is right about here. Right there. Okay. So on the end, we've got this end with these 3 score lines. I don't know if you can see it good in that. On this end, we're going to mark halfway, and that would be at 2 7/8 inches. Okay, and so we're going to go, let me grab a pencil. Okay, it's at 2 7/8 inches, and it's halfway is going to be right there. I just have a little tiny tick mark. So now what I'm going to do is take it from the top here. I'm lining that little tick mark up right in the gutter of my paper trimmer. There's the top score line. There's that tick mark. And I'm going to cut that. Okay, so we're going to cut it to make a point. Now I'm turning it. Here's the tick mark. Here is the other end of that line on the bottom. I don't have this lined up. Let's turn this a little bit. Okay. We're going to cut it this way. All right. So now let's do our folding on our score lines. And I'm going to bring in my bone folder and give that a good burnish. I'm going to fold this back and burnish that. Oh, that looks really crooked. Wait a minute. Okay, let's do this again. I folded that back. Now I'm going to fold it this way and then back again. So we have this tiny little accordion fold, just like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my my die, and I'm going to ink this up before I die cut. And I've got some little pieces. If you ever have these little pieces in here, you can use either the holes on this side, these tiny holes, to get them out, or you can try it from the other side. And there's another little piece right there. Okay, so this is gonna, this is the whole image we're gonna use on this card. Okay, and I'm gonna bring in my Blackberry Bliss ink. Grabbing a piece of scrap paper. All right, I want to put a piece of scrap paper under this. And actually, I'm not using Blackberry Bliss. Let me show you the card we're going for here. Okay, this is the card we're making, and I originally did it with a Pretty Prince Designer Series paper, and I used the Blackberry Bliss. And this is a really big card, as you can see. So I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen DSP. So I'm going to use Evening Evergreen ink. And what I'm going to do is I've got my die here, and I'm just inking it up like this. So when it cuts, it's going to leave some of that ink. Okay. You put this aside and bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We'll put our little bird back over there. And grabbing a different plate. Okay, I'm not seeing where I put my other plate, so I've got an older one I'm going to use. So anyways, card. Here's the card. Okay, this is the part right here that we want to emboss. This part that is by where the flap is folded back. Okay, so I'm going to take that die and you want to put it down right where you want it because it's got ink on it. You don't want to be moving it around. Let's see if I can. Okay. And I'm going to bring in a Post-it. And you want to make sure you don't have ink on your fingers. And here is my old plate. And actually, this should be in like this. So you want to wait and fold it after you do this part. Let me pull that out a little bit. Okay. And we're going to run it through. Sorry, the phone is wiggling all over. Whoops, I just dropped my trimmer, paper trimmer. I'll lift that off. We'll lift that off. We'll lift our plate off. So now you have all this beautiful green on there. And it just kind of gives a nice edging to your trees. I'm going to poke these out. And that's what I did on the other card. So that one was with Blackberry Bliss. But see, it's added dark green there and there. And I don't mind that there's a few splotches because it looks natural. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now I have a piece of the Designer Series paper in the Evening Evergreen, and this is from the Pretty Prince. And I believe it's 6 by 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, but it'll be in the PDF. And I'm just going to lay this on here like this and adhere it, glue it down. And I want this in the background. So you just want to keep it right along the edge here, your adhesive. It is a fun technique. Okay. All right, and sticking up just a little bit, so I'm going to move this down a little. Okay, so there's our woodland look. And there's a piece I missed. If I can get that. I had a class and I can't find my take your pick tool or my snaps. So, all right, so this is going to be, before I glue this down, actually, maybe I'll do that first. I'm going to put adhesive in here, or you could use tear and tape, whichever you would like. You need something that's going to hold it, be a strong adhesive to hold it. And I'm just going to hold it there for a minute, like that. Right now is a great time to join Stampin' Up! Too if you're a hobby demonstrator or you want to be a hobby demonstrator. You don't have to do the business. Stampin' Up! Welcomes that. And you will get 20% off on your orders to begin with. And they're giving away a beautiful planner. I forgot to order it. But it's just gorgeous. The colors are beautiful in it. It has notebooks and it's just gorgeous. So you get $125 worth of product for just $99, plus free shipping, plus the free planner, plus a free paper pumpkin. You get quite a bit. And that is until August 31st, that deal. So if you're interested in that, you can email me at vernastamps@gmail.com. Okay. All right. So now I am gonna stamp on this flap. It might have been wiser if I did it before I glued it when it was flatter, but we'll go for it and see what happens. And on this, the other one, I had faith over fear, which is right here. This one I'm gonna make a thank you card. So we'll just stamp thank you on there. And this stamp set is the Charming Sentiments. It's a beautiful stamp set. If you don't have that, that's one that you might want to pick up. It has the dies that go with the different shapes of the sentiments. All right, so we've got that on there. And then I've got these little leaves, and I'm going to sponge them with Evening Evergreen. First of all, I'm going to glue this down. Now I don't have the little bird on this one, but you could put the bird on there. That's what I like about this set is you can use the bird, you can use the branches, you can use just the leaves. All right, so let's get our sponge dauber. And I'm just gonna put a little green on these edges here. So it's white on white, so we want it to stand out a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to put one leaf kind of this way, and the other one layered a little bit over that, but hanging down a little bit, like that. And then I have a piece that's 1 1/4. Let me check that. 1 1/2 by 5 3/4. And that's gonna go on the end here. Like that. Whoops. And I also have a piece of white that's 5 3/4, I believe, by 3. And this is gonna go on the inside for the inside sentiment. You don't necessarily have to add it, but I think it's nice because it makes the card a little heavier and hold up better, I think. Oh, I cut that short. All right. Well, I'm not going to put that on there right now. I'll fix that, but it should be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Hang on. 3 1/4 by 5 3/4 is what it should be. And I've cut this at 5 1/2. All right, so the only thing I'm going to add to this are some gems. And again, I'm using the champagne rhinestones. And I think I'll just add one here. And maybe one here. And one down here, like that. And there you've got a really pretty card. Okay, so to make this, the envelope for this, what you want to do is cut a template. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Okay, let me grab my template here to show you. And this is for, this is because this card is extra wide. And I'm not finding it. Okay, so I believe the template was 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. And then the designer series paper is 9 1/2 by 9 1/2 that you're going to cut. Here's the designer series paper. And the template, oh, here it is. The template is 6 by 6. And this paper doesn't really go with this card, but I didn't have a large enough piece to show you. So you're going to put your designer series paper this way, like a diamond. Your template is going to go in the center like this. So this is 6 by 6. And you're going to match these little center marks with your point. And there's a center mark here. I'm going to grab my ruler. Okay, this is a quilting ruler, but okay. But you could use a regular ruler as long as it's long enough. All right, so those are lined up, and then I'm going to check here. And this is up too high. On about that. And you can like hold it down with a few glue dots if you want to. Okay, so that looks about right. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to fold in the sides right up against your template here. Okay, so that's one side. I'm going to fold up this side. And I like to kind of bend it up against it to make sure it's up against it. And then we're going to take this, bend it up, just like that. And then this is going to come down just like this. Okay, so there's your envelope. So we're going to pull this out. I'm going to take my adhesive and put it on the center here and hold that. Then I'm going to take it on the sides, and you can cut these out if you want to, just like that, and press that down, and you've got your envelope. So here's the card. It will go in this way and sit in there. So I don't want to put it in right now because this is drying and I'll stick to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, email me at vernastamps@gmail.com. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, everyone. And the PDF, the link to my blog, I'll put in the comments in a little bit, and you'll be able to get the free PDF or an order if you can shop with me there. So, and Wednesday I plan on being on with Farm Fresh Cards at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care and hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye now.